See, I've got the Adelaide Bird Sanctuary cat
Nice.
upgraded. Yeah, Millie said, I've got all these things. I've got all these extra things that people give me. Said,
Yeah, I bet.
I'll change it up. Oh, someone's here. Who's with us? Hello, YouTube. We'll be getting going in a few minutes. We dipped out on the Youngula Honeyeater and the Noisy Pitter. We did try.
Okay.
Who's with us already? Stormy, how are you?
Hey.
Good to have you in here. Now, Stormy, you sent me the photo, didn't you, of the cookbook? I haven't put it on here yet. Oh, maybe I can get it. It was in the email, wasn't it? We'll check your ID on this one too. How you been, Holly? What's going on?
Yeah, not too bad. I've got a visitor. Hello. Making your appearance. Off you go.
Is that a dog? I'm looking at a different screen now. So,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know.
One of the dogs decided she had to make an appearance.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Really good. I went out in the field with Mick Cullen on Friday. That was fun.
Oh, how was that?
It was great. It's very good. It's good to catch up in person again too. It's nice.
Yeah, such a good bloke.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got the bird ID ready to go. Oh, that was from Murray, not from So we'll let this tick over to 5 minutes, which is about 3 minutes away. Then we'll rock it up and go.
Yep, sure.
A lot of people wouldn't have got the notifications until very, very late this morning. So what did you see with Mick? What were you doing with Mick?
So we were scoping sites for our gang work in southwest Sydney. So we're just heading out to all the field sites and looking at what trees are going to be suitable for. And there were lots, which is good. Yeah, lots of options, which was really good. Lots of hollows already.
Yep. And have you got a set number of boxes that you want to get up, and then you've got chainsaw hollows as well that you do?
Yeah. So we're doing 5 sites. A few of those sites have a known nest tree already for gangs, and at each of the sites we're putting out a hollow hogged hollow. Yeah. One of the habitat boxes, and then we're also putting up a supplementary hollow, so they're capped big bugger.
Like a pipe one.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's an actual hollow. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that today as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's a good interesting one. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Okay, got about a minute and 15 seconds until we rock, Holly.
Okay.
We're gonna rock.
You're going to rock quietly.
Hey, Stormy and Naomi, because I'm in the library, I'm going to talk quietly. So just let me know if you can hear me all right, okay? Because I don't want to upset everyone in the library. Oh, they're coming in now, Holly. That's good.
Excellent.
So yes, Naomi, I'm relying on you to tell me if I'm loud enough at your place.
This is a very, very different Grant today.
I know. I've got to.
You got to
look. I'm still as enthusiastic as ever. I'm just keeping a lid on it. So, I've got so many birds to talk about, though. I'm going to have to.
I bet you do.
To go through.
Wonderful.
Okay, I'll just check everything's in. Everything's up and running. Okay, we're just about ready to rock. And the track is called Rock. I can't really Oh, maybe I can up the settings. Let's just see. If I go all the way. Okay, I've changed the settings. Is that any better, Naomi? I can't really do my normal volume when I'm chatting.
I
So
can
just
hear
tell.
you okay, Grant. I think it might be because the music over the top is just making it a little bit
Yep.
more challenging. But I think
Okay.
once that's gone, it'll
Okay.
be fine.
Oh, Naomi says that's better. Okay. Well, let's rock. Sounds like it's something worth waiting for now, Holly. I feel like I want to get that the hairdo from Dave Gleason of the Screaming Jets. Yeah. Get the big curly mop going. Yeah. Oh, we'll save that one up. I've got a lot of Black Cockatoo discussions to have today. Just go through one more refrain. Get in the mood. I'm pumping like a great bowerbird. Don't they go off in a palm tree? That's it. It's Monday with Holly. I'm Grant. This is the Bird Emergency. I'm in the library at Townsville, so I'm going to be doing late night DJ technique today. Sending this out to Naomi and her loved ones. Missing you over all the kilometres. There we go. We're doing something very different today.
Wow. This is going to be an interesting session.
All right. First up, Holly, I got an email with this in it. My call, fan-tailed cuckoo for Sydney.
Yep.
Okay.
Look at that
happy with
Irene.
that?
Lovely. Yeah.
We're happy with that, fan-tailed cuckoo?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There we go. That's that's for you, Murray. Yeah. Naomi, spot on. Yes, DJ me. It's going to be my next career move. So there we are.
Well, see,
now
that's your nighttime gig.
that's right. Or my all the time gig, and this is just what I do as community service. Yeah. Okay. So, folks, I'm in Townsville. We arrived yesterday. I haven't been in Townsville for 25 years. I think I've told the story many times. When I finished horticulture, I did my 3-month placement here at the City Council, working at the Strand and the oldest botanic gardens up here, which is called Queen's Park, and also at that stage, the newly started and under development place called the Palmetum, which is obviously a botanic gardens devoted to palms. I've got to tell you, I remembered Townsville as being a bogan city, a city full of bogans. It was hot, it was dry, it was really hot. Now, admittedly, I'm here in winter, so it's very pleasant, it's lovely. 11 degrees last night, so getting a bit hot in the swag. But the foreshore development here is amazing, Holly. White-breasted wood swallows all over the place, bush stone curlews along the foreshore, bin chickens, of course. But everyone's using it. I mean, it's really, really popular with the people here, and it was great. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, this morning at the caravan park, I was up early, and there's a lake at the back of the caravan park, and I could see this big white bird sort of swooping around. Caspian tern.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just and and I haven't seen one for years,
Mm.
but they are so big compared to
Yeah.
your normal terns,
Yeah.
and the bill was really really bright red, so it's in good condition. Only saw one. Lots of Australasian grebe, and we've seen grebes everywhere. Um, where were we staying? In inland from, got to get it right, from Mackay. We went to, um, there's a place called Marion inside, inland from Mackay, which is where kind of where we were staying. Um, and we we went to a wetlands there, a lagoon there that the Mackay BirdLife group are trying to get a bird hide place there to basically to get people to protect
Hmm.
this place. We were there for about between 90 minutes and 2 hours. 50 species. It was unbelievable. Uh,
Wow.
I'm just trying to. Oh, I better pull up my eBird because I'll forget all the good ones. Um, it was it was so good. When we went to Youngala the next day, we only got 19 at Youngala, but it's an amazing spot. Okay. Let me start. The first list we did together was at Byfield. Now Byfield's um, just out of Yeppoon. Um, uh, so at one car park there, Dusky Honeyeater, Scarlet Honeyeater, Fairy Durigany, Rufous Shrike Thrush, which was a real treat. That was a first for me. Grey Fantail, Spectacled Monarch. But the next one, that was the Water Park Creek. The next one, Upper Stony Creek Walk, Australian Brush Turkey. Finally got the top knot pigeon. I dipped it everywhere. A flock of them flew overhead. Little pied cormorant, laughing kookaburra, rainbow bee-eater, red-tailed black cockatoo flying overhead. Lewin's honeyeater, dusky honeyeater, blue-faced honeyeater, little friarbird, noisy friarbird, fairy durigany, varied triller, and they were everywhere. Rufous shrike thrush, golden whistler, Rufus whistler, olive-backed oriole, pied currawong, willy wagtail, Rufus fantail, that was a beauty, grey fantail, spangled drongo, white-eared monarch were everywhere. Once we found
Wow.
them, once we found them, and and you know twigged to what they were doing, they were
Mm.
everywhere. Spectacled monarch everywhere. Um, we've only got two in the count, but we kept seeing them everywhere. We suspect they were the same birds. And then rose robin, both a male and a female, and we got the
Oh,
best.
nice.
We got the best look um, at the rose robin female. But then when we popped it into eBird, it's like unexpected for the site. It's not regularly encountered
Oh.
there, so we didn't have a photo. Um, I now understand why people don't carry their cameras and their binoculars
Mm.
and their field recorder and everything. So I've kind of given up on the photography. I'm just I'm
In
I'm
the moment.
enjoying I'm enjoying the birding. Now the
Yeah.
next now the next day out of Mackay, we went to what's called very sensitively known as Black's Beach Peninsula
Mhm.
and Spit, and that we basically walked through a woodland and then onto the beach and walked around the point and sort of back to the car park. 31 species, orange-footed megapode, peaceful dove, they were everywhere, bar-shouldered dove, we finally snagged that one, rose-crowned fruit dove, and we actually saw that in the garden at Ian and Mary's where we were staying. Pied oyster catcher on the beach, masked lapwings, 12 red-capped plovers on the beach, two eastern curlew on the beach, very close.
Excellent.
A bunch of silver gulls, white-faced heron. Oh, dark morph of the eastern reef heron on the beach.
Oh.
On the beach, hanging out
Yeah.
with the red-capped plovers. Brahminy kite, white-bellied seagull, blue-winged kookaburra, rainbow bee-eater, Rainbow lorikeet, dusky honeyeater, brown honeyeater. They're really common here. Helmeted frybird, so that was a lifer too. Striated pardalote, black-faced cuckoo shrike, very triller again, Australian magpie. Let's go, what's down? Spangled drongo. Oh, leaden flycatcher, really good look at that.
Oh,
Olive-back sunbirds everywhere, Teresian crocus
lovely.
also, but so that was all that. Now that was Friday at Blackbeard's Peninsula, and I think we were. Uh, oh yeah, and then in the afternoon, that's right. In the afternoon, we went to Des Moines, um, which is where we got the 50. Okay, so I'm going to rock through those. We
Okay.
saw 60 plumed whistling ducks, 4 cotton pygmy goose. We saw wood duck. We saw 26 black duck, grey teal, 10 grebe, Australasian grebe, crested pigeons were there, peaceful dove, um, bar-shouldered dove, pheasant cuckoo smashing its way through the undergrowth, dusky dusky moorhen, Australian swamp hen, which haven't been that common, masked lapwing, of course. Now, the masked lapwing up here, Holly,
Mm.
let me tell you if your masked lapwing experience is the same as mine. When you see
Okay.
masked lapwing around, do you generally see a pair and maybe one or two
Yeah.
offspring? Right.
Yep.
Here, they hang out in gangs. You're as likely to see 2 as you are to see 15, 20 hanging
Wow.
around together. And that's really different. They're a very different
Yeah.
behaving bird. We
Interesting.
comb crested jacana, Australian
Mm.
data, lots of data. They were everywhere. Little pied and little black cormorants, intermediate egret, white faced heron, little egret, white ibis, short necked ibis, black kite, everywhere. Oh, one of them presented so close to us in the car park. Got some good photos of him. Whistling kite. Oh, it's Raptor City on the road from Mackay
Yeah.
to Cairns. I reckon. Remember, I sometimes say, that there's hardly any birds that have increased. Black kite must be.
Yeah.
They must be one of the commonest birds in the country.
Yeah.
Uh, Whistling kite, black wing kookaburra, blue wing kookaburra, sorry. Oh, and what a maniac laugh. Getting good at telling the forest kingfisher apart from the sacred kingfisher. The forest kingfisher has got some windows in its wings. Oh, at the airfield. Oh no, let me get through this list. And I'll tell you about the airfield. Rainbow lorikeet. We got Lewin's honeyeater, yellow honeyeater. They are amazing. Um, we cracked the bar-breasted honeyeater.
Oh.
That was our target out at the lagoon, and Ian told us where they usually find them, and yeah, within 15 metres of where he told us to stop,
Oh,
we
fabulous.
saw them there. Dusky honeyeater, brown honeyeater, blue-faced honeyeater, white-throated honeyeater. Now that's not a really special bird, but that was a first for me. I
Nice.
hadn't ever got a good enough look at it to confidently call it. Oh, that's one of the white-naped honeyeater gang.
Mm.
It's one of those. But yeah, uh, little frybird everywhere, helmeted frybird again, rufous whistler, white-breasted wood swallow, pied butcherbird. Uh, we were looking for a black. No, we were looking for a black the next day, I think. Australian magpie, willywag towgrass, spangled drongo. I've got a story about spangled drongo too. Leaden flycatcher. Oh, golden-headed cisticola. Big flock of fairy martins. So that was that. Now, what was I going to tell you about? Um, yeah, so before we move out of there, where we've been staying with Ian and Mary, they've got a golden pender planted in the middle of their
Oh.
lawn, and it's in flower. 2 spangled drongos nectar feeding, drinking nectar. Have you heard of that?
Oh.
And
Um.
and and remember, I said I saw starlings doing that in a silky oak
Mm.
months
Yep.
ago. They're just
Mm.
doing the same thing. Um,
Yeah.
2 of them, and when the honey eaters came in, the drongos would chase the honey eaters off.
Oh, okay.
Um, so yeah, so that was something unexpected.
Mm.
Um, so let me tell you about the. Um, this is down at Rockhampton. This is at
Hmm.
the well, um, Headlow, it was called, with the airfield. We're prepping for Millie to take off. So she takes off at 6:30 in the morning. We get out there at about 5:30. Sun's just coming up. Bustards. Hear them everywhere. I posted a little thing on the socials, I think. Certainly on Twitter. I can't remember. The internet was so bad out there, so I don't know whether it actually posted until the afternoon. But we could hear them, and then you could see three of them displaying just off to the side of the airfield. So that was amazing. And driving in and out, there's a flock of squatter pigeons just hanging out. So that was really exciting because Millie had squatter pigeon on her list to tick off. So we got them.
Lovely.
I wanted a forest kingfisher, and we were just seeing these flashes of blue, and some of the forests are quite buff underneath, but they got a little window in the wings, white window in the wings, and the forest kingfisher sat really close to where I had to open the gate, so that gave me a good look at that. So that was exciting. But bastards, unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Now I'm almost up to our day at Youngala. We did 2 walks at Youngala. We did this one called Chelman's Road, where we were told we would certainly see the Youngala honeyeater, but we didn't. Well, we got 20 species. I dipped on the Wampu pigeon or Wampu fruit dove everywhere so far. They were everywhere, and they crashed through the foliage, dropping berries on you, pooping on you. So that was fun. But yeah, and in the rainforest, they are so beautifully camouflaged. But yeah, we got that one. Laughing kookaburra, blue-winged kookaburras going on like maniacs. Rainbow bee-eaters. I'm amazed at how common they are up here.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Sulphur-crested cockatoo, crimson rosella. Now, there is some talk that the crimson rosella at Youngala is a separate subspecies or possibly a separate species. So there's a lot of work being done on that.
Okay.
Regent bowerbird, big male, popped himself out into the sun, so that was great. What did we hear? White-throated tree creepers were all around us. We didn't see them. Lewin's honeyeater, heard them everywhere, didn't see them. Hear them everywhere up here. Scarlet honeyeater only heard. So we're hearing scarlet honeyeaters everywhere, but I haven't seen a coloured up scarlet honeyeater yet. Very angry white-browed scrub wrens.
Always.
I saw some lovely large billed scrub wrens, and they were hanging out higher up in the trees than the white-browds were on the ground. Brown gerygony, white-bellied cuckoo shrike, eastern whipbird, golden whistler, they were everywhere. The forest was alive with golden whistler calls. Pied Caroline, grey fantail, eastern yellow robin, silver eye. So that was our first stop at Youngala. And then we had one more, and then I've got to tell you about Brisbane. We only got 11 on the second one. I'll just tell you what was interesting there. The brown gerygony was everywhere. Rufous shrike thrush again, and a brush turkey that basically was walking around, following us around, and the other highlight for that area, we went there because Millie wanted to see platypus, and we saw a lot of platypus.
Yay!
So that was cool. There we are. So I'm back here. Okay, now sorry for everyone who I haven't been checking the comments because I was looking at a different screen. Yeah, dusky Myzamela, yes. Well, duskies are everywhere up here. You can't escape them. Duskies and browns. Actually, where we were staying at Mick Barker's at Yeppoon, and Mick's part of BirdLife Capricornia, just outside the front door, a little balcony there was a large Albizia, which is related to the wattles, and the browns and the duskies were fighting each other for that. Now, did I say last time? No, I haven't been away that long. From Mick's front window, you look out, and there was a group of araucarias, about 5 really skinny araucarias. Every morning, Australian hobby used it for foraging trips
Hmm.
out and back. And then on the last morning there, I think we were there 3 mornings, a pair of them up there. But at the same time, while they're in there, cuckoo shrikes, um, Tahitian crows, Australian magpies, um, pied butcherbirds in there. Um, just that was just alive. And at night, could hear a pair of barking owls calling to each other,
Oh,
and
lovely.
one a slightly different tone to the other one. But they,
Yep.
so that was pretty exciting. Um, what did I see in Brisbane? I wasn't using my eBird list, but I I saw. I haven't worked out. My photos don't tell me whether it was a mangrove girigony or a western girigony,
Oh,
but there were quite a few of those. That was at Sandy Camp Road wetlands in Brisbane. Now, Brisbane people, if you haven't been there, get down there. It is a phenomenal. It's easy to walk around, and there are so many birds there. A huge amount of ahingas I saw. Um, what else did I see that was really cool? On the road into Yungala, so it's not on any of our counts because it wasn't at the spot. Grey goshawk hunting. That was
yay.
astounding. Uh, and we were mentioning yesterday before I drove. So what happens with Millie? We get there's a lot of prep got to happen. So the
Yep.
day before Millie flies, we prep and get everything ready, and then we try and do some birding afterwards if we're ready. But Millie takes off at first light.
Hmm.
About 10 minutes after first light is the rules. So we're out somewhere really early, and then I drive to the next location, which
Yep.
is 3.5 odd hours. So I drove Mackay to Rockhampton. Now on the way, the first day I drove, what happens? The car overheats.
Oh no.
Yeah. Um, so I think, oh no, I buggered up Millie's car. But luckily for me, it had been, it had overheated with when Mick drove it
Okay.
from Brisbane up to Yeppoon. Anyway, we got that fixed. That was all sorted, so that's good, and it behaved very very well. But I was driving really slowly on that overheating leg. Um, but we were just mentioning the raptors we were seeing, and that we hadn't seen a wedgie. Seeing lots of whistling kites and lots of um, black kites. I think I saw a fork-tailed yesterday, but you can't really tell when
Yeah.
you're okay. Oh, now yeah, Martin. Yeah, now Western New Guinea. The two people that I ran into while I was bird watching that afternoon, both they were there looking for the Western Girigany. So um, yeah. Now I got a pretty good look at it through the binoculars, and I reckon it probably was a Western Girigany, but I haven't had time to go back through and blow up the photos. But I did get some, I think, reasonable shots, but I haven't been able to blow them up on a big screen. Can't tell on the phone or on the camera; they're just too small. Um, but yeah, super friendly bird watching community too in Brisbane. Oh, Toondah Harbour, the Toondah protest. Oh, I haven't had
Mm.
time to post all the placards there. I met. Uh, 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 oh, how come I forget every time? Save Sunrise Glossies. What? Um,
Oh,
what? I'm
oh my
sorry, I've
goodness.
forgotten. What? Yeah, I said this
Hang
last
on.
week and I forgot it again. I do it all the time. Met his mum and dad too. Lovely people. Um,
Spencer.
Spencer, of course. Yeah, of course. Hello, Spencer. Hope you're watching at some stage. Yes, so I met Spencer and his mum and dad. So that was great that they'd had come down. Ah, hello. Hi, Michelle. Michelle from Australian Sitsai
Hey,
is here.
Michelle.
Nice to see you, Michelle. Um, yeah, so Toondah. So the crowd was I counted at least 2,500 people. I was running around with a
Wow.
camera, and I was trying to get a picture of everybody's placards because they were
Hmm.
some really cool ones. And I ran to ahead of the protest and tried to count everyone as I came through. I got to about 2,500, maybe 2,700. But Channel 7 were there.
Amazing.
Channel 7 were there, and I heard them. They were interviewing a few people, and they were kind of saying, "Oh, yeah, is the crowd as big as last year?" Now the crowd was much bigger than last year, so I thought
Oh,
I'm not going to let them lowball it.
no.
So I could hear her talking to someone. I said, "Oh, excuse me, Channel 7." Um, and she came over and said, "Oh, look, I hope you don't mind. Just want to get a word. Um, what do you reckon the the crowd number is? I mean,
Mm.
it's so much bigger than last year. What do you reckon? 4,000? You reckon it's 4,000 here?" And then so all the organisers twigged to what I was
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So they came over and said, "Oh yeah, what do you reckon?" And they said, "Oh well, someone's up there got a clicker," and they said 3,000. And I said, "Well, I couldn't even I couldn't even count everyone. I came round to the front and I got to 2,500, and they were still coming."
Well
And
done.
yeah, so on the news, we didn't watch it, but someone else did. I think they reported about 2,500,
Okay.
but they didn't lowball it like they were trying to. So that was great.
Well
Um,
done.
yeah. Oh, Michelle, so you live near turned up. Michelle, did you turn out on uh, to the protest? It was raining really heavy overnight, and it was a bit drizzly in the morning before the march. So we thought it um, uh, might suppress those numbers, but no, it was was really well attended.
That's great.
Um,
Excellent.
that that Redlands Bay, Redlands 2020, I think they call themselves the community group. They're so well organised. That was really great. Now, Holly, I saw the Powerful Hours with Dr. Nick, and he showed me a boo book
Yes.
as well, so that was really good.
Excellent.
Um, yeah, so that was great. Um, let's see. Uh, Michelle, I had a really nice coffee. If you live, if you're familiar with down at the Sandy Camp um, wetlands, because I walked from the 2030. Yes, thanks, Michelle. Redlands 2030. Um, I walked from the train station at Wynnum North, I think, um, and down to Sandy Camp. But just at the train station, there's this really cool coffee place. I ordered just a, a coffee, and they were sort of closing up. I was a bit late. I just have just regular, just a flat white. It was $5. Now I haven't paid $5 for a coffee in Melbourne for forever. It's $5, and it was like a bucket. It was, oh, and it was good. I mean, and it was good. Yeah. So thanks, Dr. Nick. That was an amazing day's birding in. And the other thing at Byfield too is, yeah, I'm jumping around all over the place. We're coming out of Byfield, which is in from
Mhm.
Yeppoon, and as we're leaving, we've packed up and we're leaving. We're driving over the causeway, and it's just flooded there too. So the roads were only just open, and we couldn't go through some tracks because trees had fallen and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we were hoping to see an azure kingfisher, and we dipped everywhere we got told to go and look. We dipped. Uh, but as we're driving out of the causeway, across the causeway out of the car park, we see this little spot, little bird, just just sitting
Oh,
there, 15 metres from us, maybe. So we got a really nice look at it. It's just like, oh look, hello,
perfect.
hello, thanks for coming, see ya. And we go to put it into eBird, and again it says, not expected at this location or whatever. I think, bloody hell. And of course, then you've got to go through the thing with you've got to have a photo and all that.
Mm.
So I can't remember. I don't think I read it off, did I? I didn't read it when I went through those lists. So yeah, I think we left it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no doubt it was an azure.
Wow.
So that was a bit of a thrill. We were hoping to catch it. So that was good. And we walked right along the creeks. We went to all these spots where we thought all these
Yep.
little still bits of the creek which was flowing reasonably quickly, but all the little eddies and little billabongs. Didn't see it, but again, it popped its head in at the car park. Um, yeah, what else? What are the honey eaters? The honey eaters are really amazing, but in the sort of rainforest stuff, it's really hard to get a good enough
Yeah,
look to
it's so
tell
hard to
what
pick
they
them.
are.
Yep.
So we're just learning trying to learn the calls,
Mm.
and it's really interesting how different the calls are as you travel north or south.
Yeah.
So my app has all subspecies calls, which is sometimes good.
Hmm.
Um, what else? Yeah, there's so that's kind of it so far. We're going to be here in Townsville for a week, so
Okay.
we're going to bird a few places. We're going to go and do a list, or I'll do a list at the Parmetum. We'll do a list at the Caravan Park. Great bowerbird. We pulled in yesterday, and the first thing we see are all these great bowerbirds. They're
Oh, lovely.
um, but they're big and
Yeah.
kind of. I think they're kind of like crows, you know. Well, they're a bit like
Yeah, they're
currawongs the way they
hefty.
hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just the way they carry on,
Yep.
picking up the big pine fruits, palm fruits, and
Mm.
just carrying around everywhere. Um, yeah. So next, yes, Martin, that
Mm.
would be nice. We have someone has given us a bit of a tip where we might see that when we get up to the tablelands. So yeah, so we're here until Monday. The next flight leg, weather depending, is Monday next week.
Okay.
That'll go to Cairns, and yeah, I think Millie's keen to spend a bit of time up in Cairns, and I think maybe go on a tour and yeah, and
Absolutely.
and Millie likes her alone time, so I'll probably get to just bum around and yeah, I just love to see how the horticulture here in
Mm.
Townsville is pretty impressive.
Yep.
Mackay as well. Mackay is a really nice inner like city centre.
Hmm.
Uh, but the big thing I'm noticing in the suburbs, I mean, Mackay is just astounding. But people, there's still so many mature trees, even in the areas where they're developing. It doesn't seem to be quite the absolute clear fell
That's
mentality.
good to know.
Uh, I haven't been to
Is
any
that
of
that
the
the
outer suburbs though.
the density is lower, so there's sort of more
No,
space to reach?
I think the blocks are slightly bigger, but I wouldn't say the
Yep.
housing density is much
Okay.
less. It just seems to be that when they're developing the streets, they don't take all of the mature trees down.
Oh, lovely.
Um, and it could just be that the overall vista when you are looking around is that uh, maybe the developments are not actually abutting each other. Maybe there's a bit
Okay.
of public space or land that people don't want to develop in between.
Okay.
Because of course, like when you're looking at Mackay, so much of it is a swamp.
Yeah.
It was originally a swamp. Okay, all right, Michelle. Let's see. Sit site Oz 23 November. Okay, on the Sunshine Coast. Um,
Okay.
Michelle, do you want to jump in? Um, I think we can do this. I trust everyone in the chat. I'll just I'll just put the studio link in, Michelle. If you want to jump in, you can tell us about it. Um, so they're in the chat there, Michelle. It's the link. You can jump into the studio if you want to give a blurb about the conference. That would be cool. Uh, yeah, that would be cool. Um, so, Holly, you were telling me before we
Mm.
came on. Oh, Michelle doesn't have a mic. Okay. Um, I do, and I'm in a library. Whoa. Um, Michelle, maybe tell us when registrations and things open, and maybe
Mm,
we'll do a one-on-one on that.
yeah, that'd be great.
Um, okay. Well, Michelle, if you want to do that, um, uh, just tell me when you're ready. Just grab that link, and yeah, okay. So when Michelle pops into the studio, we'll bring Michelle on. Um, so yeah, tell us about you. You were hanging out with Mick Callan, of course, from Habitat and
Yes.
regular friend of the show. Um, so tell us what you've been doing.
Yes. So finally, it's been quite a while since I've seen Mick in person, but we headed out on Friday to some sites in southwest Sydney where we're doing a little project. We've got an honours student coming on board in the halfway through the year, looking at gang breeding in southwest Sydney and trying to understand where they're breeding, what the characteristics are like, and can we supplement their breeding sites with extra hollows. So Mick's come along for his amazing hollow knowledge and skills and is going to be doing the arborist work for us for that project. So we were scoping out our sites, didn't see any gangs, um, saw nest trees they have used before though. So there was no shortage of hollows for a range of different species through the bushland, which was really good to see. And it's going to be a really, really exciting little project. Um, Learning more and hopefully getting some gangs back in some natural hollows and maybe using some artificial structures as well. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that would be great because then that means that those young birds that have been reared in them will are
Yeah.
likely to use them. Well, I think. I mean, we need a study, Holly. That can be
Yep.
your postdoc. Uh,
I'm postdoc now, Grant. It's been a
postdoc.
while.
Okay. Um, uh, yeah, but that would be really well. You would expect that you would find the young birds would probably then be likely to use those artificial structures. So
Yeah, we don't know a
fingers
huge
crossed.
amount of about gang nesting ecology. I mean, there's some, except for the amazing work that's being done sort of out of Canberra and down on the south coast of New South Wales, um, with people like Susan Rind and Michael Mulvaney as well, Chris Davey are doing amazing work. And so we're looking to see, okay, so what's the state of play at sort of the northern end of their distribution? We know they don't necessarily come back to the same trees year after year. We don't think. So we'll be interested to see whether they come back to the sites that
Mm,
they used last year. Um, but we also, really want to get a handle on what's happening at sort of this northern end of their distribution. And how's the temperature like? So what's going on inside the hollows? We're going to be throwing some data loggers in and looking at temperature and humidity, and we can compare that with what's being found sort of at lower altitudes as well, and seeing how much variation there is.
So I
Um,
think when we were
Hopefully help them
chatting,
out.
I think we were chatting before I hit the go button that
Mm,
you you're going to put like a range of choices on each tree. So there'll be like a
yeah.
habitat box, a hollow hog carving, and then like a traditional style pipe cockatoo box.
Yeah, so this is a small project that's being funded by the New South Wales Twitchathon. They're from their fundraising efforts last year. So that's all the amazing birding clubs in New South Wales that raise money for a project. And we were very lucky to get the funding from last year's Twitchathon. So this is kind of a little pilot. So we're going out to sort of 5 sites. Hello, Abby. And we are going to be trialing one of these different types of hollows at each of the sites. So we've got our natural hollow, of course. We're going to be using a Habitat box, so one of their amazing new 3D printed
Yeah.
boxes. We're going to be using,
Second
yeah,
generation box. I think they're up
yep,
to now, aren't they too?
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's right. We're going to be using a supplementary hollow, so a hollow that's come down from a tree that's come down at some stage is being repurposed. And we're going to use a hollow hog technique to actually create some hollows in some trees as well. So testing it all out, seeing what the temperature and humidity is like across each of those different types of hollows, seeing what the habitat's like, seeing what other birds are around at each of the sites as well. So the student is going to be very busy. There's lots and lots of questions to answer.
Oh, for sure. Now, Holly, that's just reminded me something else I wanted to make sure
Mm.
I said today while we've got you. Um, we spent some time with Mick and some of the people at BirdLife Capricornia, and
Hmm.
they told us a few of the places to go. But Millie Millie gave a talk to that group,
Hmm.
and they they've been doing shorebird surveys um, around that really sensitive part at the bottom of um, Yeppoon
Hmm.
near what is it, Emu Park, for and there's always a threat of development down there. They've been doing continual shorebird surveys with the same methodology for 20 plus years. And this is
Wow.
a group, and this is a small group of,
Yeah.
and they're all volunteers. Like when you look at the
Yeah.
BirdLife list, BirdLife website, I thought that there'd be a paid coordinator everywhere. There isn't. These are just volunteers. Um,
Yeah.
BirdLife Mackay, Millie
Hmm.
spoke to their meeting, and I sat in on it. Uh, they're now battling not only around Mackay, but there's a pumped hydro proposal for Youngler.
Okay.
So, so one of Australia's least understood, least known, and certainly least studied birds is now under threat from a
Hmm.
pumped hydro that uh, from the engineering advice that we were given while we were up there um, is not fit for purpose anyway. So that's going to have to be a big campaign. I've got some
Mm.
people lined up to talk about. So,
Great.
bird emergency people, you're going to be sick to death of hearing about the Youngler honeyeater and the Youngler four, because we don't actually know with um, whether we've got four separate subspecies or indeed
Hmm.
some of them may be different species of fairly well-known birds. So yeah, so I'm going to do an interview about the project. We're going to do an interview about what. Oh, Youngler Bird Week too. That's coming up in
Oh, cool.
September. Now they can only accommodate 20 people with the events because of how fragile the
Wow.
environment is. So we're going to. I'm pretty sure we're going to be live streaming their events as part of the bird emergency. So
Awesome.
if you want to know more about this um, amazing rainforest area tucked in sort of 50, 60 Ks in from Mackay, that I would thoroughly recommend that you go to if you ever get the chance. It
Mm.
certainly should be on your list for popping through. It's a great drive up there too from Mackay.
Amazing.
It's a really pretty drive. Facilities are good. The tracks are well marked, well maintained. If if I can do it, anyone can do it. Uh, and you'll probably see a platypus as well. So it's really cool. Anyway, hats off to look. It's going to be the same around the country, and it's probably the same around the world. These guys or guys and gals, men and women who are uh, holding the meetings, making sure all the facilities work, lobbying councils to get signage or,
Yep.
you know, maybe get things slightly altered. They want to get a bird hide at that lagoon that where we got 50 species. I mean, that would just be so good. But the one thing, and they did mention to me, is just part of the talking about the challenges for a small community group. Uh, we need to get more younger people joining,
Yep.
joining and being involved. So if you do know someone who's sort of a teenager or you know, yeah, teenager, young adult that's into birds, encourage them to go along. I mean, it's equally as healthy as going to scouts or girl guides or gymnastics, and a good couple of hours birding is a workout. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So there we go. Get them all involved. Um, yeah, so that's kind of my update. Oh,
What a great update. That's
someone's
amazing.
phone just went off in the library.
How
There we
rude in a
go.
library.
I don't feel anywhere near as guilty talking on the phone. Now I want to ask the opportunity now for questions or comments. Feel free to put them in while we wait for Michelle. Okay, I don't know if everyone's noticed. I've got a different hat on, royal blue, rather than my battered and beat up navy blue one. Uh, did have a comment on my Twitter that they said not sure about the new hat. Um, so happy to field comments about the new hat.
Wow, we get comments on our appearance, do we? My
Oh
goodness.
well, I do. I certainly do. I frequently get it on social media. Uh, yeah,
No.
I get some weird stuff. Let's see. One of the other things I've noticed too, Holly, is that as they come further north, because the environments like the forests and far more productive, it's less clear which indigenous group is the traditional owner for
Hmm.
a region, as what I'm talking about. So people might have noticed I'm dropping that out. If I don't know, it takes 20 seconds of a 59-second video to explain that.
Yep.
So where it's clear, I'll be including it. But just don't just want to understand that it's not as clear cut in some of those areas
Yeah.
as it had been. Um, yeah. Okay. Questions and comments, and we'll see whether Michelle makes it to come in. You've you've got to scoot pretty soon, don't you, Holly? I think
I do.
you're
Yes.
mentioning.
It's a
So,
busy day today.
well, Mondays always are. What's
Anyways, this one's even busier today. I don't know why, but that's okay.
so what's on your desk for the next 2 weeks before we try and catch up again?
So what's on my desk is, well, it's that kind of year. So it's that time of year coming towards the end of financial year. So there's lots of reporting to do, reports for donors, letting them know about what we've done this year, hoping there's some more funding coming through. Um, I'm doing some sort of behind the scenes program planning and things, which is thrilling. But I'm also getting ready to host our next bird webinar for our urban bird supporters in BirdLife. And so that's going to be at the end of the month with Sean Dooley hosting, sort of giving the session on beginner bird watching and bird ID. Um, that session, we had space for 500 people and it booked out within about 2 or 3 hours, which
Oh,
was amazing.
Sean's a rock star, so
Oh, I
of
know,
course.
exactly. It
So,
wasn't a hard sell at all. And I've got a massive wait list of people, so um, that's really
well,
wonderful. And
well,
but I also feel really bad. There's people that are going to miss out on seeing it live, but we are recording it, and I'm going to share that everywhere, so people
and look,
can
Holly,
see the session.
you can tell all the people who really want the live experience, if they can't
Mm.
get into yours, they can always join
Just
us.
come here,
Um,
absolutely.
uh, um, um, oh, that was the other thing. Look, this is real egotistical wank here, but at the Mackay meeting, you
Yeah,
know, Millie introduced me as her ground crew and whatnot. And then people were sort of going, "What are you doing?" I just said, "Oh, I just do
yeah,
this podcast." And then um, none of them had heard about it, but then when they
yeah,
saw how many episodes there were, they
yeah,
went, "Oh, wow!" And so I've
yeah.
had to get their phones and download a podcast app for them and get them. They're all going, "Oh, wow, this is great!"
Excellent.
So hopefully we'll be getting some some new uh, bird folk getting involved. So folks,
Amazing.
so be sure to share and share and share because even
Absolutely.
though I always think when people go, yeah, I've heard of your show, but nearly nobody has. So there we go. Almost nobody on the face of this earth has heard about the bird emergency.
Oh,
Um, so tell me what's on today. There's a webinar today: small bird habitat corridors and connections.
oh, who's doing
Um,
that?
I don't know. Haven't heard about it. I'm not on anyone's mailing list. People don't tell me anything to publicise them for them. So I don't. Yeah. Are you
Oh.
doing a birds in backyards mailing list, Holly, or is it all consolidated in the BirdLife one? I get the BirdLife
I
thing.
So I do a backyard birds one through BirdLife that goes out every quarter. So that's coming out
Okay, so
in a
it's
couple of
quarterly.
weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's. I think
There's
I
a
get a
monthly
week.
e-news, and then there's a special urban birdie
Okay,
edition.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to tell everyone. I haven't had time to. uh, It's just so go go go. I haven't been able to actually get up and do the stuff that I've been wanting to do. So yeah. Look, just keep watching my socials, and I think we're going to be in Cairns for a little while, so I probably have some time to do another stream. It's just
You've been
yeah,
a
we're
little
just always
busy.
well, we're always on the move, and if we want to get
It's
birding in,
exciting.
I can't do anything else. So
Well, that's
uh,
you've got to take the opportunity while you're there.
oh yeah, absolutely. Plus, it's really good to clear out the brain, which it's been great. Clearing of
Okay.
plantation timber. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, I don't know the situation there, Stan, but I would think that if timber's being removed and there's no thoughtful replacement of some timber, because you have to have the framework for
Mm.
birds that need high places to observe from and whatnot. That it it may change the whole suite of birds that you've got, but that might not necessarily be a bad thing either. This is where you need to have people on the ground researching it.
Mm. Yeah.
But if birds are using a monoculture over the broad scale, and that disappears, well, then those birds have got nowhere to go. So, um, yeah,
Yeah. There's a lot of context to
yeah,
understand around that one.
and
Yep.
and I don't know what the historical
No.
um, ecosystems were that were there before the timber was planted. So, yeah, it's always complicated. Land use is always the most fraught of the discussions that communities have. So,
Yeah.
um, oh, Stan. The other thing, yeah, yeah, just blue gum plantations can be. Uh,
Yep.
Shelter belts are important, and it's just like in the urban environment, Holly, where we talk about reconnecting
Yeah.
areas.
Absolutely.
Shelter belts can certainly be used for that, and I don't think agroforestry has been applied anywhere near as it could have been
Hmm.
in agriculture so far in Australia.
Yep.
Um, Stan's comments have just reminded me that you know I've been recording some dawn choruses, so I'm going to try and fit in a dawn chorus episode in the next week if I can. So please keep recording your dawn choruses as they change, and we'll get around to it. Um, but Stan, remember that peaceful dove that flummoxed me? Now, I I've been in plenty of places where peaceful doves are, and I just haven't really noticed them. But up this far north, they are everywhere, and that call is just ubiquitous. So, um, but now the difficult one to find has been the bar-shouldered. The bar-shoulders are le- far more unobtrusive than even the peaceful doves. Um, so, yeah, it's just the frequency of or the opportunity to be in amongst them. Um,
Nice.
Catbirds, fig birds. They're
Yeah.
all over the joint.
Yep.
Sometimes they're brash and out there, but sometimes they hide and you just can't find them. You can hear them and you can't see them. Um, Olive-backed Oriole was pretty hard to find too, but we found them. Um, yeah, so, well, if anyone's got any comments or questions, now's the time to do it. I don't think Michelle's going to get back to us before we have to bail out. Um, here we are. Yeah, Stan hasn't heard the peaceful dove there. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that there would be a lot of them in on Kangaroo Island. I reckon that must have been like a straggler from somewhere, got lost on the hanging around.
Yeah.
But that call is everywhere around here, um, and they're such cute little fellas. Um, did I mention there's a gang of stone curlews, bush stone curlews in the caravan
Yes.
park. Yeah, so
No, you didn't say there was a gang in the caravan park, but you mentioned
they're in
you'd
the
seen
caravan
some.
park there. So yeah,
I love them.
you know, at least a dozen. There might be as many as 30 because you counting them while people are moving around and they're scurrying
Mm.
around between vans. It's great fun, great fun.
Awesome.
Um, so after Sean Dooley on
Hmm.
your webinars, Holly,
Yes.
what's next?
Yeah. We're going to be talking gardening tips with Annie from the Urban Bird team. We've got, I don't want to release them all because I'm kind of teasing people, but we've got
Okay,
some art topics. We've got some um, topics coming up on nest hollows. The whole year is basically planned out now, so
oh,
it's
cool.
there's some really good ones. I guess you just need to get on the list
Yeah,
to get the
cool.
emails and find out about
Um,
it.
Now, if they know about the birds in backyards page, will that
Mhm.
let them sign up, or do they have to
So
go
the
to
best way to
BirdLife?
sign up and get on the list at the moment is just go to the BirdLife Australia homepage and go to the support. I think it says support us or something like that. If you scroll down, hang on, I will tell you right now. If you scroll down, it says stay in the loop. So you add your
Stay in the
email
loop.
address to stay in the loop, and then that will put you, you can get BirdLife e-news and you get our urban bird news as well, and you can go in and customize what you want to hear about from BirdLife.
How about I'm just going to see if it'll bring this up quickly and I can share it. Uh, stay in the loop. Let's see if that brings it up for us. Um, it's not ways to volunteer, is it? It's none of
No,
those.
so it's on. You go to the homepage. If you go to the homepage and scroll down to the
I'm
bottom,
I'm
that's
going
where
there
it is.
now.
Yeah.
Going there now. Save birds, save lives.
Do, 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 do.
And our programs all the way down. Our events all the way down. Oh, is that the contact page? Yes. Okay. So it's just the contact page for. Um, yep. Okay. Don't need to show that. There's nothing. That's just a form where you
Yep,
put your stuff in. So
exactly.
cool. Okay. Yeah. Australasian fig bird. Yeah, the fig birds are amazing. I think Holly's. Oh, cool. Okay, would send me that, Holly. Holly needs me to get something. Oh, Michelle's here. Michelle, do you want to follow? Jump in that. Uh, I'll give you that link again, Michelle, if you want to jump in. And Holly, send me the link and I'll bring it up.
Just
Um,
did.
cool. Okay. Open. Okay, so we'll do this. I better look at it and make sure it's not your OnlyFans page, Holly. Oh wow, cool. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, this one's okay. I wouldn't mind if this was an OnlyFans, Holly. Uh, oh, and it's uh, I have to tell you this is very. Oh, I'll tell you when I brought it up so people know what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, is it up now? Is it up? I haven't brought it in. Here we go. All
There
right,
we go.
let's.
So this is video that
Hang
was
on,
shot
there we
by
go.
Darren and Talia Broughton. They are really, really talented videographers. They have been compiling this footage for a while. This is a bit of a big passion project for them. They also organise and film for our YouTube channel, BBTV. And so they've just published yesterday this 45-minute video featuring 100 plus birds. I think it's 101, 102 or 103 video birds from the Kapiti Valley. And there's some just beautiful close-up shots. You can see adults, there's young, there's the context of the habitat. I've had it running like on repeat all morning. It's very meditative and really enjoyable to watch. There's some truly beautiful birds in there, and Darren and Talia have done an amazing job. So I'm going to put it out on socials hopefully this afternoon if I get a chance, and
Okay.
share it far and wide because it's beautiful.
It 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 hung, but I'm just going back and we'll
Yeah,
play that.
it's quite a long, quite a big video, so it's probably why.
Yeah,
But I'll be
just
sharing that out
this.
in the next day or
So
two anyway.
I don't want it to be full screen. I just want it to be theatre. There we are. That's better. We'll just make it that theatre mode. Come on. Okay, that's ready to go. I'll bring it in
Okay.
and we'll do that, and then we'll see if we can get Michelle on board. And then we'll be okay. We got the audio. That should be fine. Bring it here. We'll make it there. Okay. Let's see. I think we're going to be able to hear it. 100+ birds of the Kapiti Valley, and the reason I wanted to just mention this is so much like the view we got looking back towards Mackay as we went up to Yungala.
Interesting.
Just like that. You can hear that, everyone, I hope?
Yep, I can hear it. Just a beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful.
100+ birds of the Kapiti Valley is the name. Oh, Michelle, I put the link just in this normal chat because so I will grab it again. There, it's there now, Michelle. So just cut and paste that. Wow! Oh, look at that one. Is that turquoise?
Mm. So yeah, lovely. Just yeah, beautiful video. You can just, if you can't get out birding, it's a nice little alternative to sit and have running.
And it's at BIBY TV account on YouTube. So, okay. How long does it go for?
45 minutes, man.
45 minutes. Okay.
We're not going to watch the whole thing now.
No, we aren't. I thought it was a shorty, but no.
No, it's not. It's a big one.
All right, so that one's gone. So, Michelle, oh, you're on LinkedIn. That's why, Michelle, you're not seeing it because you're on LinkedIn. Okay, hold on. Let me, Holly, just talk among yourselves while I.
Okay.
I'll
so I
send,
just need to
I'll
do a
send
little
this to
jig or something.
Yeah. Actually, tell us the best bird you've seen lately.
What did I see lately? So out in the field on Friday with Mick, looking at the gang trees. You know, there weren't particularly exciting birds. It was a lot of rainbow lorikeets, a lot of galahs, a lot of silver-crested cockatoos and king parrots, all hanging around hollows and investigating hollows or in hollows. I did see was what I think was a hobby went overhead, which was probably the nicest. You could see the bird of prey. I didn't have my binoculars on me. I left them in the car, and so I missed the detail. But I'm pretty sure it was a hobby that was circling over, and everything went very quiet. It was really lovely. That was my favourite of the day.
I must be the hobby whisperer because
You must be.
I see them all the time at home.
Yeah.
And just seen them everywhere on this trip too. Okay, I can.
They're beautiful. I love of capturing like a bird of prey. It's always a really exciting time when you're birding because everything either gets really noisy and really angry or really, really quiet. It's a good way to work it out. It's great.
Okay, Martin, I'm just about to put your things up to get Holly's comment. Michelle, I've emailed that link to your personal account, Michelle. So Michelle's old school. She's got a Hotmail account, so very
Excellent.
cool. Okay. Last week, coastal forest bulldozed down around 30 acres,
Oh,
starting from Tenham Sands. Uh, okay.
wow.
So,
That sounds
all right.
gory.
Now,
Is that?
now Martin's wondering what steps to take. Um, the question really is it illegal? That's the first thing, or are they allowed? Are they, is there some long-standing land use agreement, a
Mm.
lease, or something for that? Um, if it's not, so Holly, what would you, because because they're already doing it, it's really where you have to go to local media, isn't it? That's the first thing you need to do.
Yeah,
And
I think.
who's
I,
the
I guess the
responsible authority for that piece of land? That's
I guess
that's the
that's
thing you need
that's
to
the
know.
key thing first is
Yeah,
working out whose land it is to work out the authority that you need to contact, whether it's local council land or whether it's state government. Finding out who that is and getting in touch with them first. If it's got to the point where it's happening, um, you would like to think there's been processes put in place, but that's not always the case. So I think that go, going to that first port of call is probably really critical, and working out whether it's allowed to have been going ahead or not, and then you can decide whether it's something that goes to the media. If it's you know something that feels dodgy or is concerning, then there's always that avenue to go down. But yeah, my first port of call would be working out whose land it is.
yeah.
Um,
And it
and if
and if
it's
that's
a quarry, then it's probably either leased to or owned by the company, and so then it's a
mm,
call in to them,
yeah.
to find
Um,
out what's going on.
but also, Martin, if it is like if the permissions for use
Mm,
would have been issued by local council, um, probably the first just a general inquiry to your
mm,
local council will probably cut down a lot of time
yep.
finding out. If you just and you got to be really nice so that they don't just shut you
Yeah.
down and say we don't know. But
Yeah.
if you can get the right person, you might find a lot of information and you might get the backstory.
Hmm.
So there might be an angle. If you hear the backstory, there might be an angle that makes it interesting for local media.
Yep.
There may not too. Sometimes it's been and done. The fight's been had and the battle's been
Mm,
lost. Um, Something none of us like to accept, is it, Holly? But
no,
sometimes that's just the way
not
it
at
is.
all.
Sometimes the legislation allowed it, or sometimes the minister has used their special powers, and there's basically nothing you can do.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's the first thing. Local
Yep.
council find out who the responsible authority is and um,
Yep.
under what uh, rationale is not the right thing. What's the framework? Whether it's
Yeah.
local government or state government legislation that has allowed the development to proceed.
Yep.
Yeah. Now Naomi's got
Doesn't mean it's a
something,
good thing
Holly.
that it was allowed to
No,
proceed, but
no, but sometimes it's watertight and you can't change it.
yeah.
Okay, needletails at Mount Annan. We have to say needletails now, Naomi. Even though we know it's the spine-tailed swift, it's actually, what is it? The white-throated needletail, Holly.
Mount Annan.
Or
Lovely.
or or are they the fork-tailed? You'll have to
Uh,
tell us that. I'm assuming it's going to be uh, the needletail. Oh! It's
are they Swift
Swifties.
parrots? I was going to say,
Swifties.
is it
Oh,
yet Swifties?
yeah, that's better. Oh, they're Swifties. Fantastic. Um,
Guess my
yeah,
kid's not
that's
going to gymnastics this afternoon.
yeah.
She might be going to Mount Annan.
Okay.
Nice. Oh,
I,
okay.
okay. Well, it looks like we're not going to get Michelle on. I've emailed her, and now
Okay.
LinkedIn. When you're watching or whatever on LinkedIn, uh, not all the functionality is available on
Okay.
LinkedIn. So everyone in Facebook and Twitch and YouTube has been getting that link continually spammed into the comments, but Michelle's not seeing it, unfortunately. Michelle, let's.
I've probably got a dash pretty soon though, Grant.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, Michelle, just send me some info, and let's do a Michelle and Grant session when we can organise it to talk about that. Okay, you're going to have to take your stonking big 600mm lens. Well, just take your good binoculars.
Just take the binoculars. Yeah.
Just take your bins. Well, folks, Holly's got to go. I've got to get ready to meet up with Milly, and Milly's about to go in and do an interview in the ABC studios here at Townsville, and they've been rebuilt since I was last here, so I'm going to go and have a sticky around there as well. And then I don't think we're going to go. Well, no, we're not going to go birding today. I think we're going birding after Milly talks to a school group tomorrow. So yeah, marvellous. So
excellent.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Can I just really quickly finish off, Grant, and say last week was National Volunteer Week. So I just want to say a massive thank you and acknowledgement again to the volunteers that helped the Urban Bird Program, particularly people like Naomi and Trina and Vicky, who admin and moderate the Facebook group. Darren and Talia, who I shared the video with, who do the amazing videos for us for the YouTube channel. We've got bird ideas like Bill and Ed, who do our bird ID on the Facebook group. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody. Amy, who answers emails and things as well for us. We would be lost without our volunteers, and that's not even talking about all the volunteers who volunteer by doing bird surveys and giving us all that valuable data. So massive thank you.
Absolutely.
As always.
So I want to say thanks again to all those people for doing that, and the really nice bird people that I've met along the way. BirdLife Capricornia. Nick, thank you very much.
Lovely.
To Ian and Mary at BirdLife Mackay. Thanks so much for putting Milly up and putting along with the tag along. That was great, and giving us all the tips about where to go and see things, and everyone who's just doing all that stuff, running meetings, just cleaning up after everyone's had their cups of tea and stuff like that. And look, Mackay City Council and must be the Capricorn City Council. Fantastic facilities, everything's so much better than it was when I was up here, a long time ago. Now I'm losing my earpieces too. And to the guys that I saw when I was birding at Sandy Camp Road in Brisbane, thanks for just being cool to talk to and giving away your spots, because I got just about everything we talked about. Didn't get the red-backed fairy wren, so that's the only one I've really dipped out on. But there's plenty of opportunities still to go.
Yeah, you'll see one.
Thanks everyone in the chat. Stormy, Martin, Naomi, Stan, Michelle, anyone else who was watching. Thanks again, Holly, for always making some time. And let's see if we can do 2 weeks from now. And 2 weeks from now, if we've left Cairns, we might be in Mount Isa, maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
Or we might be in Cairns. Or we might be at Atherton. I don't know, somewhere. Who knows? I'll be up there somewhere. I'll be looking for a couple of rifle birds, a golden bowerbird, and golden-shouldered parrot, who might be vagrant. Gordian finches too. Let's go for that. Yeah, thanks, Naomi. Great. It's always the best part of the fortnight, catching up with Holly.
Likewise.
Oh, hang on.
Great travels, Grant. Continue, enjoy it. Cooper's Plains.
Okay. That was the redback fairy wren. Cooper's Plains. Yeah, I didn't get down south. Yes, thanks, Martin. Yep, happy birding. That's what we're doing. Hopefully Milly hasn't killed me by then. So That's what I have to say. If you're not following Millie, get onto
Hmm.
wingthreads.com and you can watch her take off and she'll talk you through each leg as she's flying. Um, it's really cool. And she
It's
gets
very cool.
she does a live stream for the flight. So, um, yeah, so get onto wingthreads.com and then you'll get the notifications of when the flight is actually happening. At this stage, next Monday morning is the next one that scheduled, weather dependent, of course. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Holly. This is the Bird Emergency. Oh, yeah, you can go to the birdemergency.com/join. And if you want to fling me a few dollars so that I can, I don't know, buy a souvenir t shirt, that'd be cool.
Change your hat.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I yes, and we will get around to a members only again. It's a matter of scheduling, so just look out for the email when it comes out, and I'll let you all members know. Thanks. See you, Holly.
Bye.